Hi everyone, after a long wait, my wife's car finally got the Spring update. That's version 12 of the software in the Tesla. That's not version 12 of full self-driving, it is version 12 of the main software. And I've been waiting a while for it, and there's been a lot of hype, and let's try and check out what's all the hullabaloo about. Is it worth it? Is it a big deal? Well, let's just jump right into it. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is what version of full self-driving does this have if it is enabled, and it is enabled on this particular car. And I am sorry to say, for those of you hoping that it was version 12.4, it is not. It is 12.3.6. Now, before I get too far, let me say what the specs of this car is so you can wonder whether or not you have it or it's coming soon. This is a 2022 long-range Model Y Hardware 3 with the AMD processor in it and ultrasonic sensors. It is basically one step up from the baseline car that had the Intel processor, which is my red car, and it is still sitting on 2024.3.25, which is what this came from. And now we're sitting on 2024.14.8. Now let's take a look at what we have, and the very first thing that you're going to see is that the main in-park screen has changed. It's much more Cybertruck-like, where we've got a large image of the car on the screen. It's purple on the screen here because we had this car wrapped purple, and this is a pretty good match. But you can see we've got a large indication of the screen. I can spin around, and I can do all of the things that I needed to do, like, you know, open the frunk. This has a motorized frunk on it, and it opens. I can go ahead and close the frunk by tapping it again, and it will close. If I open a door, that animates. All of this was there before. It's just a much larger view on the screen. And then also while you're in park, you get this little thumbnail up here in the right-hand corner showing you your map. Located on the bottom are our cards. They're just centrally located. We've got a navigate button right there where you can just do your thing. And the buttons along the bottom are pretty much the same. Now, when driving, things get a little bit more interesting, which is the layout changes a little bit, especially if you're in full screen mode. If you're in full screen mode, like you have with FSD, you get a little thumbnail of a map on the top right-hand corner, which also shows you your progress. It also tells you at the bottom where you are within your total trip, as far as where you are, as far as start to completion, how close you're being done, with a little visual indicator. And it's also worth pointing out, it appears that the speedometer reading is also a little bit larger compared to normal. Now, I don't have this update yet in my Intel-based car. In fact, I don't think anybody has it in Intel-based cars just yet. But Tesla's saying that most of these features are going to be in Intel-based cars, except the large image of the screen. It must use a little more processing power than it can on the Intel, and they even say in the release notes that they may choose to add it in the future. Who knows? But they are saying that most of what I'm going to show you should, I say should, appear in your Intel-based car. All right, now let's check out the apps. The apps have changed a little bit. The first one is we have a new app from Audible. We'll go ahead and select Audible. If you have an Audible account, you like to listen to audiobooks, you could go ahead and log right into your Audible account right here and listen to your Audible books. Another update that I want to point out is to the Spotify app. I don't personally have Spotify, but looking at the release notes, you can now sync your Spotify queue across vehicles and devices and adjust playback speed. So those of you that have Spotify, these are probably some really welcomed features. Another feature of this new update is an improvement to Sentry Mode. You can now preview your Sentry Mode recordings right on your phone as they happen in your car. You've been able to look at the cameras for a long time, but apparently now you're going to be able to see clips of what causes those Sentry Mode triggers right from your phone. And if it's a problem, hopefully be able to address it very quickly. Also, from time to time when you're using navigation, it will sometimes want to reroute you to a different either destination supercharger or a different route, you now have a view on the screen where it's going to give you a visual indication that it is rerouting you and give you a chance to say, no, I don't want to reroute. I want to keep going the way that I want to go. There's also an update to the wipers. These are kind of some buried features here that are a little bit more difficult to get to, but if you don't know they're there, they're easy to miss. You can now adjust the wiper speed by pressing the wiper button. Always been able to use the wipers by pressing the wiper button, but then you can use the left scroll wheel to adjust up and down the setting. That is super nice for those of you in rainy weather areas. Also, if you're a browser person, the browser has been changed, but only a small amount. When you run the browser now, you have the ability to just have it go full screen. There's also a website called abettertheater.com, which allows you to get to a whole bunch of other streaming services right from your browser. And you can check it out right here. And having the browser be able to go to full screen right away makes the viewing experience within this website that much better. Also in this version is an update to the service menu, and in order to get to the service menu, you want to hold your finger down on where it says Model Y or Model 3 for about 3 seconds, and then you'll be asked to enter in a code. Type in the word service, and it will take you into the service menu. And in version 12, it's been reported that there's some undocumented new information here under the HVAC system. If you click right here, we've got 2 new items here that show HEPA filter and cabin filter health, and they're blinking there. So if I tap one of them, it says reset HEPA filter score when you replace the HEPA filter, or reset cabin score. But right now, this car has never had either of those replaced. We're sitting at 69%, of course, with the HEPA filter, and 99% for the cabin filter. So we're in good shape there. It's nice to see that those features have been added in so you can actually just check it for yourself without having to tear the car apart. Not exactly new with V12, but it is still here, and that is the park assist, where you can go ahead and pick your spot, tell the car to park there, and it will do its best to actually back you into that spot. It works well with parallel parking too, so take advantage of that park assist if you have it available to you. And then the park assist, unfortunately, is only available if you have full self-driving supervised enabled. Finally, if you have a Model S, a Model X, or a Refresh 3, there's a feature that happens in the trunk where if you have your key in your pocket, your phone key in your pocket, and you just stand behind the car for a period of time, it will open the trunk. Now, I have no idea why they haven't added it to the power trunk here of the Model Y, but for whatever reason, they've chosen not to include it. So that's it. That is version 12, the spring update of the Tesla software. Is it revolutionary? No. Is it just an incremental, nice change to the software, an evolution of the existing software? Absolutely. It does let the visuals kind of make it more in line with what they're doing with the Cybertruck screen, but this is by no means a complete revolutionary rewrite. These are just a continuation of the incremental improvements that we've seen from Tesla time and time again. Well, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this quick video. If you did, I appreciate you tapping that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscriptions are always welcome. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.